Okay, I'm going to see if this really works. I just have this propped up on my middle console. I started with a little Apple phone. I tried to do Vlogtober, which I actually did really well. I video every single day in Vlogtober, but then getting it off of the phone and onto my iPad to edit it was a problem. I never finished it, but I'm going to. It's almost February, so I'm hoping to finish it because I want to finish it. It was kind of like a goal I set for myself, and I want to finish it. So I think it's time to, keep going. Number one, keep going. And number two, finish what I had already started. And that's my plan anyway. So that's my... I don't even know if this is pointed the right way. Let me see. I can't tell. So anyway, right now I'm just on a very small road. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about my goals for my vlog. Okay, so I started blogging, I think when my son was 2, and he's 16 and a half now. So occasionally I dabble in that blog, and I still have readers on that blog and things like that. But it's an older platform. It's a little bit clunky, blah, blah, blah. So I'd like to redo that. I'd like to do it on a new platform. I'd like to make it not so like the beginning era of blogging, but not magazine stylish either, because trust me, I don't have that talent, nor do I have that time. But I just want to bring it up to date a little bit, make it a little bit interesting, spend some time looking at that. When I'm going to spend time looking at that, I don't know. There goes a big truck through the rotary, not yielding. Seriously. Gotta watch these people. Let's see. What I would like to accomplish on my vlog, YouTube channel, blog. I think it's important for you to predefine what you consider success. So what would make it successful for you? When I first started blogging, nobody was blogging. I didn't even know if anyone would read what I put up there. I was really into quilting at the time. I was taking pictures of quilts, but I was also taking pictures of things like, I tried to plant these tomatoes and it got really cold, and look at my tomatoes, they are dead. I am not a great tomato gardener. And people actually liked it. So it was a sort of lifestyle type of blog at the time, maybe. And what was the success? The success for me was that I enjoyed doing it. I didn't really care how many, it was interesting to me how many hits I got or comments, but what was a success for me was sort of like a pictorial diary of things that I was doing. And I enjoyed it. It encouraged me to take pictures. That fell down. Alright, so maybe that is not going to work. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So the thing that makes for it to be successful this coming year, because this is a whole new time period that we're living in than when I first started writing my little blog, and people had dial-up internet, and people didn't have home computers, and now everybody has a little computer on their phone. So the success for me, I say, okay, let's keep it simple, okay? Really simple, because some days I really don't feel good. Lots of days I end up in bed. So let's say, I'm going to say, okay, I want to make I don't know, granny square Afghan. Okay, that's, how big's your bed? Twin, double, queen, king. You want it to be a throw, baby size, whatever. So that's kind of a vague goal. So I could say, well, I want to make 5 granny squares a week. That's doable. Most of the time. I would say most of the time 5 granny squares a week would be doable. It would be nice to have, a time period sometime during a week or every other week where I show, okay, this is what I made and this is how it's going, and this project is not something that I'm making overnight, and yes, it takes a long time to make this. Or then I could say this project's really fast, I can make this in an hour. Kind of share that experience with people and hopefully encourage people who watch my show or channel, I'm not even sure of the terminology, to maybe inspire them to try to do something. If they would be inspired to try something, if I did a tutorial or I don't know, I think it would be fun. Kind of like a long distance craft get together, maybe, that we all work on similar projects. So first is this big dreaming stage. I think that's the longest part, the big dreaming stage. Dreaming stage of what you are actually going to make. Then the search is on for, a pattern that you might want, or the correct size tools, or, whatever it is. And then the time to do it, and maybe you need to refresh your memory and watch a YouTube video on how to do it, or maybe you don't even know how to do it in the first place. You gotta, there's even YouTube videos out there on how to thread a sewing machine. So if you don't know how to thread a sewing machine, don't feel badly, because there's a YouTube video out there that will teach you how to thread a sewing machine. So there's this big whole dreaming part of it, and getting all your stuff together and starting. Starting is so exciting, laying out the pattern, making the first few cuts, doing whatever. And then after a while it's kind of boring. And something else comes along. You go, oh, that looks better. That looks like more fun. I want to do that. So then you start that. And then before you know it, you start another thing. And we're going to be going over the bridge soon. I wonder if you can see it in my iPad. But these people are afraid of the bridge, concrete pillar, so they're driving in my lane. It's kind of a narrow bridge, so I don't blame them. But that was my lane. It's not that I don't finish things, because I do finish things. I really do finish things. But I think that having a YouTube channel would motivate and inspire me to finish more things than what I already finished. So I think there's that sharing component. The sharing component would make me feel like my channel was a success. So editing and filming, I don't know, maybe we can add that like later down the road. I know there's lighting and there's microphones and there's actually having your picture so that like your whole head's not cut off or whatever it's doing. So anyway, I just wanted to say hi. And this is part of my drive. Here comes a cop car. So notice I'm hands-free. I don't have any device in my hand, but I wonder if he looks over and sees my iPad and I'm like talking to myself and recording myself. What in the world he'd think? State police. Guess he didn't see it. Doesn't care. I guess he's texting because he's actually going all over the road. Thank you, state police, for not hitting me. I mean, they have all these tablets and stuff in their vehicles now, and all these controls that they have to look at that, maybe they do wobble. good pace, and I hope you guys are all having a good day. And I hope I like this. I hope I get good at editing. Not like super at editing, but good enough at editing. I mean, the 12-year-olds, they're wizards at editing. Give a 12-year-old an iPad and they're like, bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, this is ready to go on, I don't know, primetime TV. I just want to get it so it's watchable and enjoyable. That's another thing that would be a successful part of my vlog, would be if people enjoyed it, or if they got something out of it. I just think enjoyment, general enjoyment, and providing enjoyment to other people by what you do. So, okay, can we let's review what I thought would be a successful YouTube channel. Can I even remember? Oh my gosh, my brain cells are getting fried. I like the idea of documenting my stuff, taking pictures of my stuff, accountability, having shorter term goals, like instead of, oh, I'm going to make this blanket, I'm going to make 5 pieces of this item, and kind of, the longer term goals, as well as the faster projects, sharing successes, things that worked for you or things that didn't work for you, having a community that, crafts together. And I know that we already have the knit alongs and crochet alongs and make alongs. I understand that, but just another place. It's another living room, right? Another living room that you're welcomed into, or in my case, my car. Okay, so I'm babbling. I'm not contributing anything useful. Forgive me, I don't always remember what I'm going to say. I'm going to have to write it down in a book. I might have to redo this all over again. I don't know, but yeah, I forget. And then I remember. I had a lot of chemotherapy. I've had a lot of surgeries. I've had radiation, so I'll just chalk it all up to that. Sometimes I forget what I was going to say, but that's all okay. If that's the price I had to pay to be here, then I'm fine with that. I did have stage 4 cancer. And I remember laying in the bed, and my son was 13, and I remember just thinking how much I wanted to teach him how to drive. How I wanted to be the person to teach him how to drive. And he's a very good driver now. He still has his learner's permit. We haven't gotten the driver's license yet because of the driver's ed. You have to be, in the car so many hours with the instructor, which is kind of silly because the instructor doesn't really bring them anywhere. They don't go out on the highway, or like I bring them through Boston and the other side of the state and on the freeways. He's actually a good driver. But I remember when I was really sick and he was 13, and I remember being really sad, thinking that maybe I wouldn't be the person to teach him how to drive. And I taught him how to drive. And he took driver's ed. But the funny thing is people will say to me, well, aren't you scared of teaching him how to drive? Aren't you afraid? And I'd be like, after all I've been through, teaching him how to drive is like one of the least scary things. So, no, I wasn't afraid to teach him how to drive. I always knew he'd be a good driver.